Okay, but enough about talk about features. Now let's hear about reality and how it comes forward. I'm pleased to welcome our second customer, DHL.
We all know DHL for its yellow trucks and speedy delivery. It's the world's leading logistics provider with close to 600,000 employees around the world. Every day, it helps businesses cross borders to reach new markets and sustain growth. Through its integrated solutions, DHL supply chain builds efficiency and resilience across supply networks, giving customers a competitive edge. Please welcome to the stage Dietrich Frunz.
Good morning.
Thank you.
I thought I'd give you a little gift before we start. The aircraft we operate in our Express division. Hope you have fun. You can light it up if you want. Let me see if it works. Oh. There we go.
Oh, look at that.
So have fun with that, Steve. And thanks for having me.
Thank you. Does it fly?
Thanks for a great party. Well, put it in your office or somewhere else.
My team's down there. They can catch pretty well.
Well, I mean, if it's your team, it's okay.
Thank you. This is great. So welcome. So obviously, I think the logo is very familiar to people. People see it on delivery all the time. They may not be as familiar with the size and scope, particularly of DHL supply chain. Could you give them an idea of the magnitude of DHL?
Yeah. Of course I do. So the DHL group is an 82 billion plus company in euro terms. It consists of 5 operating divisions. The Express division is the biggest one. We call ourselves the most international company in the world because we operate in every single country of the world. I'm part of what we call DHL supply chain. That is the biggest contract logistics business in the world. It's 17 billion revenue, 55 countries. We have 190,000 people. We operate in across 1,600 sites with 17 million of square meters warehousing space. The service provision is from transport to warehousing, value-added services. We do e-fulfillment, we do multi-channel business, and in most of the cases, we really work as an integrator, combining physical operations, the data, and the robotics. That's, in a nutshell, what we do, Steve.
That's a big nutshell. and your role at DHL?
I'm the CFO, responsible and part of the global management board and responsible for accounting, controlling, for risk management, for compliance, for pricing, as well as for investment controlling.
Now, obviously, with that type of footprint, you have many systems, many cloud systems, probably many on-premise systems. Could you give the audience an idea of where Fusion Applications plays in that ecosystem?
Yes, generally, as a board of management, we decided that we want to go with most applications as we can with cloud solutions. As Oracle is concerned, we're taking your, let's say, products for 4 functions, which is finance, obviously, it's HR, it's transport, as well as procurement.
Now, when we started, maybe you can tell the audience a little about how we met and where we got started. You've been a long-time Oracle customer, but on-premise. Now, before you moved to the cloud, and before, during, and now after, you've been part of a financial transformation, just at DHL. Could you give the audience an idea of sort of the drivers behind that, and how and why that combined with the move to the cloud?
So this role I took over about 10 years, and then I took a team together and wanted to really develop a transformation strategy, forming a state-of-the-art finance organization across all elements, which is systems, processes, organization, and then insight and value creation. So we started about 10 years ago. As one of the key projects, we started to roll out then the on-premise R12 solution from Oracle. After 5 years into the race, I came to San Francisco, to the Open World. We met the first time and talked. By the way, Steve, you took a slightly smaller room. So this one is a little bigger than we did in San Francisco, obviously. So, but we did that. And then you and your team, we had discussions with my team, and you kind of convinced me or suggested that we should move directly on the cloud. We together did a feasibility study, and we decided to go, and since then we are implementing cloud. We are live in all APAC. We are live in half in Europe. In 5 months, we are live in full Europe, 35 countries. It was certainly a good decision. And I think it's a good time to thank your team and my team for the great collaboration, our partnership.
Oh, it's been tremendous work by your team to get here. I think, one of the things that's critical for the audience, because some of the audience are considering moving to the cloud or have part moved to the cloud. And what you said is exactly how I remember it. Maybe I convinced you, which implies not some skepticism, but maybe some concern on the fit, new to the cloud. But maybe describe the audience high-level perception of what do you think the product was like when we started 5 years ago, and what's the product like now?
Yeah, certainly, one of the key elements of a cloud solution is an even higher degree of standardization, but in a way also of simplification that requires very robust change management. But what was a great sales pitch, but what I bought into is the ability of the quarterly innovations, and that we buy an application which is constantly, developed, and that is what we want to benefit from. We saw those innovations coming in, but now looking forward, and we are talking about that one as well, is AI and very sophisticated, let's say, capabilities, which gives us better insights, real efficiencies and real value. We will measure and see in the P&L and cash flow statement, etc. And that is a little bit the difference. So the idea was there, and that now I think we get real traction. I think the capabilities you're bringing to the tool will really make a difference to our organization and to the product.
To be very clear, there's no way I mentioned 5 years ago AI, so that was new. But we did talk about visibility. We did talk about getting a shared service, just a lot of the accomplishments your team has made. So you're live in financials, in the scope that you mentioned, you're live in financials, procurement, HR, and transportation management, which in your business, transportation management, you guys know what you're doing, so that's a major, major accomplishment. So what have been the results you've seen so far?
I think, implementing the cloud, starting with finance, and we also adapted the model you kind of suggested to us, respectively discussed, is to centralize accounting activities in a hub, and that is not the transaction. We're still working with our partners of Accenture for the transactional accounting, but we centralized in APAC and Europe accounting activities. Together with that, we really address the system component, the organizational component, and process component, because I think we really work in the highest level of standard you can work, and we have almost none modifications to your solution, which is great. So I think it really coming into fruition what I envisaged maybe 10 years ago. All elements are working together. Again, there's more to come in terms of value creation, insight creation, but that's great. HR, we're utilizing lots of those self-service features, and that is what the people like and love. The HR people, but also other users, just as an element. In IT, I would call out, it makes our life easier, and I think my colleagues sitting there over there, also the IT colleagues, we have less, let's say, external applications, we have less integrations, it's seamlessly workable, and also the innovations which come, the quarterly innovations, are relatively easy to manage. So overall, it makes that life easier. And transport, I have to admit, strategic decision has been taken. It is deployed in one instance, but we still need to work on what is really the global design, because we have a huge customer base and they have individual, let's say, models and wishes. And to really define a standard, it's hard work for us, right? So we are more at the beginning, but certainly much more to come.
Yeah, well, certainly transportation is your business. So maybe that's a good segue. What's next for DHL supply chain, and how do you envision our partnership going forward? Or how can we support you, and what's next for DHL?
Yeah. So first of all, what's next? What we are going to continue the rollout. We'll finalize the rollout in 2.5 years about. And then I have one instance globally, which we certainly never had before, and that sets a mark in our overall company as well. What's next? Priority number one is utilizing this tool now and really betting on the new functionalities you will deliver. And you made me, which I'm honored with, part of your FSC, so the Finance Strategic Committee or Council. And I hope I can influence a little bit what you want to prioritize first, right? But I think we need now to double down. First priority to really take everything out of the tool, which is in the tool, utilize it. We can scale it easily because it's globally deployed. That is number one, right? And then we have also and then it's really about insight creation that are really drive value for the business and better. If you just imagine we have one data set, and with that consistent data, we're feeding into many cross-functional hubs and use cross-functional data to steer the business. The quality is better, and that is another agenda I'm driving as well.
Right. So you talked about the Financial Strategy Council, but here's your chance in front of a larger room and with a larger audience. How can we do better? How can we improve our partnership? What do you expect for Oracle to deliver?
Honestly, that we exchange, that you bring us together, and that I talk to other customers of you, that we have a community, I think will really be good. And I will concentrate some opinion and influence you, Steve, obviously. Just to give you an example, if I would be in a position, never have it surprised by an auditor because, anomaly detection, the application knows what might be wrong. I can even heal it before I have the discussion. That is something, it should be relatively easy to deployable in the foreseeable future, those kind of things I see. But I think that we work together continuous, on all levels, as we did in the past, will make that very successfully. I think there's not dramatic change I envisage, but we need to continue what we do.
Absolutely. I think it ties closely into our security message and everything we're doing, so it'll be great. Thank you, and again, congratulations to you and your team. Just great progress.
Hey, Steve, I have one for you. So 5 years ago, you told me you leave San Francisco and you should deploy the cloud, right?
Yes.
What is your advice? What do you wish me to do now? And if you talk in 3 or 5 years, so what is your advice to me?
I think I have we talked a little bit about this off stage. I talked with a few customers. I think that many of the people in the audience are in your position, where they've done, let's say, several phases. You still have some countries to roll out, you still have some transportation management. But I showed a couple examples. The team is delivering hundreds of new features every quarter. Not all of them will apply to you, but I think that we have to get, as a community, go from, hey, we got this big project to move to the cloud, we got this big project to update, into you're getting steady stream of innovation. I hate to sound cliche, but a continuous process improvement, not only in the supply chain areas where that's kind of what they do, back office financials, HR, so that you're adopting new features all the time. I think you and I do it as consumers. You get apps on your iPhone, your computer gets updates, you just absorb it. But I think as enterprises, absorbing and staying up to date, because I think, you and I know, we've talked about opportunities to, as successful as you've been, if we just continue to incrementally automate, innovate those areas. So I would really put a focus on, I'm glad you mentioned the updates go in fairly seamlessly, but really drive that value. And I think your team is doing a great job. But if we do that, I think we're going to be really successful.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So,
great.
Thanks, Steve.